Let's hear a little bit from Sean McVay as it relates to the relationship that so much was made of after that bolt from the blue trade happened on the Saturday night in the weekend between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, where the Rams got Matthew Stafford and everything was going to be great. Well, it's not going too great right now. Here's McVay last night on Matthew Stafford's performance.
He was a little off. I think we were just off as a whole. Certainly I know he expects to be able to play better. He will play better. He can play better. But I have all the confidence in the world in Matthew Stafford. I have all the confidence in the world in our players. And we've got to play better. They can play better. I know that. I expect that. And that's what I choose to believe as we come back from this bye.
First one, they did a nice job peeling with the back, covered Cooper, with some depth from the nickel. And probably should have just run that ball, maybe out to the right. I don't know if I get anything or throw it away. Just too aggressive, throwing it down the field. Shouldn't have done it. Second one, I'm throwing that ball to Higgs just like that every time. Uncharacteristic. Just something that is hazard to play in the position. Sometimes those things happen. Obviously wish they wouldn't, but I trust all our guys to make those plays, and those things just happen.
All right, I'm going to say something now, and it's probably going to piss some people off, but that would make it a day ending in Y. When Matthew Stafford joined the Rams, and as we got toward the start of the season, and there was this Rams Super Bowl hype train, my approach was, I just have to see it.
Yeah.
I've got to see it before I believe it, because the simple reality, Chris, is this. I don't care how many yards Matthew Stafford has thrown for in his career. It's impressive. Great thrower of the football, as you would say. But being a successful quarterback in the NFL requires something a little bit more. And when you tolerate 12 seasons of suck in Detroit, when you're there for the full 12 years, and there's never a sense of I demand more. There's never a sense of if they're not going to make it better around here, I'm getting the hell out until you've put 12 years into it. There's always been something missing in Matthew Stafford's intangibles as a quarterback, in his kick-ass and take names, in his daddy's home and everyone's in trouble kind of vibe that other great franchise quarterbacks have, the accountability that other quarterbacks bring to the team. I don't think he ever brought it to Detroit. I remember the light bulb first flickered for me when they were struggling in a year when Reggie Bush was on the team, and Reggie Bush already had a Super Bowl ring from his time with the Saints, and Reggie Bush suggested a players-only meeting, and Stafford said, nah, we don't need that. Wait a minute, a guy who's been to the top of the mountain? He comes in as a stranger. He sees what's been going on here, and he recognizes that maybe it's time for the players to take ownership of this crap show, and the starting quarterback doesn't want to do it. So, look, not everyone's wired to be that guy, but I don't think Stafford's that guy. I don't think he ever has been, and I don't think he ever will be. And as long as everything's going fine, it's not an issue. I mention all that because now they've stumbled into this hole.
Yeah.
And they have 12 days to turn it around and go play the Packers. I'm going to be very curious to see a stadium that Matthew Stafford knows very well, a team that he knows very well. I'm going to be curious to see if it's just I'm looking for something from him that I've been waiting for. That I don't know. At some point, you just say it ain't there.
No,
and it's that.
You're right.
The Tom Brady primal scream. It's Peyton Manning with that pissed off look on his face. It's Russell Wilson with his laser focus. It's and even Aaron Rodgers, while he's different about it, there's something behind the eyes with those guys.
Sure. That
I don't think is there with Matthew Stafford. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I don't disagree with you there. Yeah, there's a pissed offness. Sorry. Leicester, like that? Leicester, I added them into this
Very
one.
well done.
Yeah.
Very well done.
There is that a little bit.
Leicester from Leicester, first time, long time.
Yeah, there's a lack of that you see from Rodgers or Brady or Peyton Manning. Again, Aaron Rodgers is not always our favorite with some of the things he does, but he holds everybody accountable on that offense and that organization. He's certainly not afraid to speak his mind or yell at some people while they're, on the field to let you know who the damn general is. Yeah, that's not there for Matthew Stafford. And I think, so you don't waste any more time in your life. I don't think we're going to get there with it either. We're not. He's not that guy. All right.
I waste enough with you.
Yeah, exactly. He's not that guy. He's not. No, he's a really talented football player. He's not going to be the sergeant general that's going to light a fire under the offense and get everybody going. Somebody else has got to do that for him a little bit. But when the machine is rolling, and things are good, he, of course, can play at a level as good as anybody in the sport. So, yeah, that's an aspect that you're going to miss from him, certainly. I don't deny that, and I don't think that Sean McVay is going to be able to get that out of him. Now, you don't have to be that guy, though, to win Super Bowls. We know that. I mean, Eli Manning won 2 of them. I don't know. I never saw his face change in his whole career. It was the same face always. Didn't matter. We've seen other guys, too, that have been successful, won a lot of games in that. But, yeah, I agree with you there. There's something that, you'd like to see, like, the first interception last night. It's not the worst. It wasn't the worst. Okay, yeah, it was bad. It was like a big punt, basically, down the field. The second one, not his fault. But at some point, I think what you're saying is you'd like to see him come off the sideline and be pissed at everybody. Start MFing people, saying, what the hell are we doing? Why are we asleep at the wheel? Let's, F and go and all of that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about. And I hear you there. I'd like to see a little bit more of that as well. I just I don't think we're going to see it. I think that's going to be on McVay, and it have to be on somebody else on that offense to kind of be that lightning rod.
It's the what the hell's going on out here vibe, and I hate to say it. I mean, we saw some of it from Jalen Ramsey last night.
Yeah,
after
right.
The touchdown that put the 49ers up 20-7. But, when Odell Beckham Jr. was in New York and his quarterback was flatline, no personality.
He was that guy a little.
Man, he's got a great personality. Odell was the one who filled the void to try to get the engine started on the days when you needed someone to come to the sideline, rip his helmet off, and say, what the bleep is going on out there? Because Eli never was going to do it. And Matthew Stafford is never going to do it. No. And that's what's going to be interesting to watch as Odell Beckham Jr. gets more comfortable. If they have another night like that, will he be the one who starts doing the stuff that he used to do with the Giants? My guess is he probably won't because he knows it'll be such a focal point. See, hey, Showtime doesn't work in the NFL. And we all kind of got caught up in it because it's fun. Just like Cam Newton, 2 touchdowns and 9 snaps on Sunday. We're going to talk about him coming up. It's fun. But fun doesn't win football games. Fun is the thing that happens when it's otherwise working and you're winning. The fancy plays from the Chiefs don't feel the same when the Chiefs aren't good. When they're good, it's great. When they're not good, it's like, it's kind of forced, and you haven't really earned the right to go out there and have fun. I think the Rams have put the cart of fun ahead of the horse of football, if that makes any sense. And, all these big trades, all these big moves, Teddy KGB splashing the pot. They haven't won a game since then.
Yeah.
They haven't won a game.
Right.
They were 7-1.
Right.
And they haven't won a game since they went all in to get Von Miller. And they go all in again and shock everyone by getting OBJ. And and I don't know that they're aware of it. They got 12 days to figure it out and get back to the meat and potatoes. And there was another clip last night that I saw from Sean McVay where he's kind of got an edge to him that is unwarranted by the fact that he just got his ass kicked. And I guarantee you we're going to turn around and we're going to be fine. Well, nothing we've seen over the last 3 hours makes us believe that, Sean. What makes you believe it?
Yeah.
So we'll see what they can do.
No, we'll see what they can do. You're right. I mean, this is a big moment. Again, we expected some bumps in the road here from the Rams this year. Really what happened through the first 8 weeks is we saw very little bumps in the road. So I think we got like, okay, I guess they're not going to go through that like the Bucs did last year. They're going through it right now. Again, I know there's some things to be concerned about, but let's not be I guess what I'm saying is I know I'm talking to myself here a little bit, and I'm talking to you because you're my friend. Like, let's not be too overreactionary. I do think there's still a lot of talent on the team. I think
just
they can.
Reactionary.
I know.
It's not overreaction.
I know
it's
not.
To react to.
Well, I'm saying again, the body of work for the year still says they're a good football team. I know the last 2 weeks have not been good. It's a crazy year in the NFL. It's the craziest we can ever remember. The craziest. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's hard to pick games straight up, let alone pick spreads and things like that. I've never been a part of anything like it. It's amazing. It's hard to know. But I'm not going to give up on them.
It's happened like that.
It did happen like that. That's what's scary. That's what's crazy is it's happened like that. The bye week, I think, is coming just at the right time. They're going to figure out what they want to do or their approach going forward here. I would bet you there's a new attitude. I bet you McVay's not going to be as cool to the team over the next 12 days. It's not going to be like, hey, things are positive. We're making moves. Let's go. And I bet you he, puts the red-hot poker to all of their butts a little bit. And, you talked about it like the Showtime doesn't work in the NFL. All right, so I know it's going to be interesting to see. All right, because we saw the Bucs last year, and that was kind of Showtime-ish, right? And they won the Super Bowl. But I think through history, you're probably right. Now, Pete has gotten my ears, and he goes, well, what about the Cowboys of the 90s or the Rams and the greatest show on turf or the Chiefs a few years ago? And what I would tell Pete is yeah, that's different, though. See, that was a team that was brought together, and they grew together. This is we're grabbing a piece from here and grabbing a piece from there and grabbing a piece from there and putting it all together and we're going to make it work this year. So that's where – right, and now Pete's saying the Broncos. Right, I get that. There were some free agents there. It was also an unreal defense that brought Tim Tebow to an AFC divisional playoff game. I know what you're talking about. You're right.
Like it's the Lakers.
Exactly. I know what you're saying.
Style over substance.
I'm telling Pete
I know
to shut
been
up,
great
and
teams.
I hear you. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm telling Pete to shut up, not you. I'm right. You're right. I'm with you. So shut up, Pete. But I know the point you're saying, and you're right. That's what's going to be interesting going forward. You're right. This is Lakers. This is the modern-day NBA super team type of thought, and we haven't seen this much in the NFL, and it's going to be a great psychological experiment here to see going forward if they can pull it all together and check egos at the door and just be a real good team and not a bunch of individuals.
And it's very appropriate that you mentioned the Buccaneers because they kind of had the super team vibe last year.
Right.
I'll give them that.
Right.
But they found a way to pull it together,
right.
And one of the reasons they were able to pull it together is because they had a quarterback
Sergeant General
who was willing to take over, who held the players more accountable than the coaching staff did, and you had to answer to Tommy if you had the screen pass in your hands that popped up into the air that was picked off by Jimmy Ward and returned for a touchdown, because that's going on in my stats. Not your stats, Higbee.
Yeah.
I hear you. One of the great motivators of human beings, and this is one of the areas where I say, let's set aside the obsession with numbers and analytics, and let's be real. One of the great motivators of human beings is fear.
100%.
And if on the football field you have in your brain fear of what is going to be said to you when you go to the sideline after you F up, you're less likely to.
No doubt.
When you have a healthy dose of the accountability that is coming because the quarterback is going to get in your face, or you're going to go into the film room and get your ass reamed the next day by a teammate. Not by the coach, but by a teammate, one of your peers. That's going to motivate you to not make that mistake, to secure the football when it comes your way. Or the quarterback's going to say, put that guy on the bench and give me somebody else. I mean, that's why I keep harping on this Stafford thing. Because without that element, it's harder to work through these moments of adversity and these flashes of somebody doing something stupid. They're going to be more likely to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, the greatest team we've ever seen in the history of football, they had that. In fact, most great dynasties had it. I mean, the Patriots, of course. I mean, Tom Brady was, massaged into that. It was in him. But yeah, it all started with, kind of what you're saying. Like, I mean, we're coming out the sideline. Belichick and Charlie Weiss and Josh McDaniels and Romeo Crennel, they're going to rip our butts apart here for the way we're playing. And they're going to kill us in the meeting tomorrow. We better play. Fear is real. I mean, Jimmy Johnson was no Boy Scout leader with the Cowboys. Bill Parcells and my dad's still scared of Bill Parcells. If Bill Parcells called him and said, give me 10, Dad would get on the ground in his kitchen and be like, okay, coach, okay. He's still scared of him. Bill Walsh, the 49ers were scared to death of him. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Chuck Noll. Everybody. I mean, Terry Bradshaw couldn't even play football for the first 5 years of his career. He was so scared of him. So, you're right about that. And I don't know, who that's going to be within the Rams, because it does seem like it's just all cool right now. It's cool. It's cool. We're going to vibe together, put the cultures together, and, the culture together. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to give up on it yet, though, because let's not forget, the Bucs team last year, it wasn't until about, week 14, right? Until
After
they got
their bye.
Yeah. So
Right.
let's see if the Rams, let's give the Rams a few more weeks here and after the bye and see what they come out looking like. And I think then we can trash them or put them on a pedestal, and we'll see where it goes.
I'm just curious about some of the conversations going to be happening behind the scenes that we're not going to be privy to, where maybe somebody approaches Matthew Stafford and says, hey, here's what I think we need to do. And he says, nah, we're good. Nah, we're just playing football. Nah, we're fine. Nah, we don't need to do that. Nah, we don't need to do that. This is a fascinating case study in a different kind of approach to putting together a team.
Yeah.
High expectations. They've hit their road bumps. Let's see how they go from here.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.